Good morning, YouTube. I hope everyone had a great weekend and that you are able to get out and enjoy gardening a little bit and family and all of those things. So, yesterday was my birthday, and as I was going through thinking about how old I was and was getting and all of those things, I found myself kind of looking at two sides of the coin of my thoughts, as it were, and I wanted to share that with you today. So this is going to be kind of a quick little devotional thing with some updates on what's going on out here in the backyard. It's pretty exciting. So anyway, back to my birthday. Yesterday I turned 63. No fooling. I can say that legitimately. I was born on April Fool's Day. It also happened to be Easter, and there's another story in that, so I'll fill you in on that in another vlog post. So anyway, getting back to my thoughts, it occurred to me that I was just sort of amazed that I was 63. I mean, how'd I get to be 63 years old? It just, you watch it coming and it seems like it's a long way off, and then all of a sudden it's here. And I've never minded growing old, honestly. I've kind of had this little romantic idea, even though I'm a realist. I have this romantic idea of growing old with my husband and us shuffling off on our little red kids together down the street and our sweaters on. I actually saw a couple like that when I was young, and I just adored it. And I thought, how wonderful to be in love and well, anyway, enough of that. So as I sat there thinking about how this happened, all of a sudden in my spirit rose up this, thank you, God, that you've given me these years. My mom didn't have as many years as I did. She passed away suddenly at 58. My father, he lived into his late 60s. My grandparents both were, well, my grandpa he was close to 100, and my grandma was close to 90 on my mom's side. So there's longevity in the family. I could live a long time. Or not. That's in God's hands. Anyway, so out here as the birds are singing and these thoughts reoccurred to me this morning, I thought I just wanted to share that with you and, just say what a blessing it is to be thankful for the good thing that God has done in giving us the years. Even in the struggles of our bodies kind of falling apart as we get older, or maybe old injuries haunting us more, there's still a lot of blessings, and there's still things we can do. And just because we're older or just because we're old doesn't mean we're useless. There are so much that we have that we can share with others. And it's really important, I think, for us to realize that, especially in this day and age where there's so much focus on youth. And, I think those of us who are following the homesteading blogs that are older are a little envious of all of the energy. And, I could have been a homesteader quite easily myself. My husband is not of that mind. He likes doing things that a homesteader would do. He doesn't have, I guess, the personality for it, maybe is a good way to put it. He fixes things all the time, which is a blessing. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, that God has a purpose for us even when we get older, and that a lot of times our best years are later. I mean, there's a lot of famous people that were older when they did their greatest work or served in the greatest capacity to mankind. So we need to really take another look and see, is there something that I'm not thinking, or was there an idea that I had that I tossed aside because I thought it was too big? Well, God is bigger than anything we could imagine, and He's able to do amazingly above and beyond all we could ask or think. And when we surrender our plans to Him, He prospers them if they're in line with His will. It's not just any willy-nilly plan, but if it's in line with His will. So I just encourage you today to look at your life, and if you're feeling a little worthless, ask God to show you what He made you for in this season. For me, being able to rekindle my garden right now is pretty spectacular, considering I had totally given it up. Literally, I had. Sorry. Yeah, this was my path. My career goal was horticulture, and to surrender it fully was a long process, over a decade's worth of process. And I am so grateful that God did what He did in me, and that He's allowing this garden to be recreated and for me to grow plants again. It's like my happy place. I love it. I've always said I'm not a production worker, but I could sit and propagate plants until the cows come home. Yep, until the heifers come home, you Roots and Refuge heifers. I don't know if any of you out there are a part of that team and know the joke, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I want to show you now what Ben did yesterday, what he finished up yesterday. Worked on it all weekend. And so let me turn the camera around and I'll give you a quick shot. This is the space where my garden is going to be. I've got to clean up the border on the edges there. The tent was in the way and I couldn't. You can see the footprint of the tent. And there is the tent over there. That's all I can show you of it. Husband will not be happy if I show you more. He's a very private man. It's not that it looks bad, because actually it looks better than it did. So yeah, we will be doing that. He wants to build a little, let's see if I can get this up here. Where's my finger? There it is. Right up in here. We're going to have a covering over those, the block pathway there. And it's going to go all around the building to my left. So that'll be nice. And it'll be a nice place to sit and hang out in the summertime. Yeah, so this'll be great. We're going to do raised beds. I don't know what kind yet. And let's see what else. Oh, the herb garden here is going to get redone, and I know I've got some containers over there. I really have just a kind of a cluster out here. It's not really that much stuff, but we just haven't been able to keep it organized. I haven't physically. So anyway, enough of that. I'm not going to make like big excuses for it or anything, but we'll be doing something here. And then the wrought iron I showed you that's up against the fence back there behind the purple arch by the blue tarp. We're going to put that up back here too. So it's probably going to be pretty cute. So I'm trying to decide exactly what we want to use for material for our beds. We talked about doing wood again last night, and I reminded my husband I don't want things that rot. But he might go ahead and spring for cedar. We might go ahead and do in-ground planting, some of it, and then the things that you have to pick close to the ground, like lettuces and radishes and carrots and stuff, I have a couple boxes for those. And I think that might be a good way to go. So it's probably going to be kind of a half and half. And I'm excited. I think this is great. So be watching. We'll be building. And yeah, so everything out here is growing really well. I mean, I really got to get in here and transplant plants. I cannot believe how big everything's getting. Yeah, I was out here grazing these. It's one thing nice about having too many seedlings is you get to graze. So anyway, with that, I'm going to bid you all a fond adieu, and I thank you for spending the time with me. Y'all have a really good day. This is Patty from Tinkerer's Paradise. I'm the Tinkerer's wife. Signing off, and God bless.